All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Philosophy of Fitness podcast, episode number 23. My name is Haley, and I'm going to be your host today and every single day that you are tuning in. Guys, it is October. That is so crazy to me. I can't believe that we are already in October. This year has somehow gone by so fast, but also so slow at the same time. And I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but I surely do. Also, if you're watching this, I'm doing a couple of adjustments to my studio here. So I've changed the lights, kind of feeling the blue vibe lately. I don't know, it's just been like speaking to me a little bit more. I've got some candles back in here. So let me know how you like the set. I'm thinking about doing some upgrades to my little studio setup here in the near future. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, guys, October, it is officially spooky season, which is certainly my favorite time of year, or one of my favorite times of year. I love summer too. I'm a huge, huge summer fan. But October to me is also like a really big time of transformation and kind of just like moving from one season into the next. And for those of you that have been following my journey for a while, you guys know that I had my spiritual awakening last year, and it was actually in October that I really started to dive inward and discover all of that stuff. So October really does kind of hold a special place in my heart. It was really when everything sort of changed for me and clicked for me and things just started making sense a bit more. So October is like a really big turning point, or at least it was for me last year. So I like to celebrate that. And something that I've been thinking about and something that I shared about on Instagram the other day is just kind of looking at the past through a lens of acceptance. So thinking about everything that we've experienced in our past and kind of showing appreciation and gratitude for it. That's something that I've sort of been exploring a little bit more. And I feel like it's kind of helped me let go of the past a bit, is saying, you know what, thank you for the lessons I've learned. Thank you for everything that I've been through, because I'm telling you guys, everything has led me to this point now. And, you know, everybody's obviously gone through things in their life and everything, but I know for a fact that everything that happened to me definitely steered me in the right direction and brought me to where I am today. So yeah, I am so grateful for your support too, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been such a fun journey, and this has been such a fun year of growth for the podcast. I mean, obviously on a grand scale, it's been a horrible year, but that aside, you know, I'm thankful for all of you guys for tuning in and supporting the show. And it would mean the absolute world to me if, you know, you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. If you leave a review, that is really helpful, really helps me out. It lets those platforms know that you're interested in the show and that you like the show. So it really helps me out. And also just liking this video on YouTube, subscribing on YouTube, definitely lets me know that you're enjoying this content. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to sit down and talk with you all today. I don't really have a specific set topic. It's been a while since it's been just me here. We've had so many awesome guests in the past few weeks and months, and it's been so awesome talking to some amazing people. Last week, I sat down with Alex McRobs. She's a sober yoga girl, and we really dive into the alcohol-free movement, sober curious movement. If you're interested in that, I'll leave a link to that either in the description or on this video so you guys can check it out. But if you aren't familiar, I decided to stop drinking December 31st of last year, and I haven't had any alcohol since then, and it's been hugely transformative for me. So definitely check that out. I definitely want to be more vocal about that as well, just because I feel like it's something that's changed my life in so many ways. And if it's, you know, could help somebody, then yeah, I'd love to kind of like have it be something that's talked about a bit more, because I feel like there is sort of this stigma around it and there really shouldn't be. So yeah, definitely check that out. But we have awesome guests coming up as well. So I have some cool people that are going to be coming on. So definitely stay tuned for that. I kind of wanted to make October a little bit more of a mystical month. So, you know, everybody thinks of like Halloween and everything, but I feel like October would be a really cool time to kind of dive into some more of our mystical, esoteric concepts, if you will. All right, so today I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about discipline versus motivation. It's something that people talk about all the time. You know, we always see motivational posts, motivational content, this, that, whatever. You have to be disciplined. And it's like, what does this even mean, right? The lines kind of get blurred between the two things. And then we're like, well, should I be disciplined? Should I be motivated? Should I be both? Should I be neither? Like, it's very confusing sometimes, I think. And I think that there should be a distinction drawn between the two because they are two very different things. So I don't really have any notes for today. I kind of just wanted to sit down and talk to you guys about like my opinion when it comes to discipline and motivation and my experience also with the two of those. So we will dive right into it right now. So I like to think of discipline and motivation as two very separate things. And I know they oftentimes are spoken about together or kind of joined together when it comes to workouts and fitness, diets, all of those things. But I think it's important for us to make that distinction so that you can understand the difference between the two and then you can know how each one can benefit you. So we're going to talk about motivation first. So motivation, you're fired up about something, right? You're feeling ready to get after it. You're feeling ready to go. You're excited. Motivation, that's a huge driving force to action, right? When we are motivated, we are setting ourselves up for success because we are feeling ready to put action behind whatever our intention is. And there's a lot of different ways that we can be motivated. I feel like, in my opinion at least, motivation is something that's more connected to something that we experience in the short-term scale. So if you're motivated to, I'm trying to think of an example. If you're motivated to get something done so that at the end of the day, you have the time to hang out with your family or relax or, do whatever it might be. You say, I can get this done by this time. I'm super fired up. I'm motivated. I'm ready to get this done so that I know I'm going to have my evening later free to myself to, take a bubble bath, like hang out with my dog, hang out with my family, my friends, whatever it might be. That's more of like a short-term goal. And motivation is awesome. Like I do find a lot of times I am motivated in that short-term sense. And I think it's kind of helpful to make a distinction between motivation and discipline because motivation is also something that's fleeting. And I think it would be silly and it would be kind of small-minded of us to assume that motivation is always going to be there because it's probably not. There's going to be a lot of times when you're not motivated. Hell, there's so many times when I'm not motivated, when I, don't feel like going to the gym, I don't feel like doing certain things. And you get it done. You just do it. And that's when discipline comes into play. So think of it kind of as like motivation is this concept over here. And then when that sort of starts to dwindle away, that's when the discipline will then come into the equation and kind of take up where the motivation may have left off. So in order to kind of backpedal a little bit, I guess we should just define discipline, at least in my understanding of what discipline is. Discipline to me, first and foremost, I think is the absolute strongest form of self-love that there is. If you are disciplined, then you are loving yourself to an extent that you know that what you are doing for yourself is going to serve you in the long term so much more than whatever might be fleeting in front of you that you are potentially thinking about doing instead of that thing that's going to be disciplined. So when you think of a disciplined person, I don't know why I always think of kind of like the military, right? Everybody's very disciplined. They wake up at a certain time. They make their bed. They do this. They do that. But there's other ways that we can be disciplined too. It's making time in your day to meditate. That's a huge form of discipline. Making your bed in the morning, like I said, like they do in the military, that's definitely a form of discipline. Sticking to a meal plan, sticking to a lifestyle with your eating, with your diet, with your exercise, even when you don't feel like it. That's the key difference between discipline and motivation for me is what are you doing? How are you showing up for yourself when you just don't feel like it? That's what matters the most, in my opinion. And that's what's going to kind of catapult you to the next level. Whereas you may have been here before and you may have been swirling around feeling super motivated and fired up like maybe 70% of the time and you see results to an extent, but you kind of plateau, right? There's like this next level that you can see that you could potentially reach, but you just don't know how to get there. And discipline is the thing that is going to elevate you from this kind of plateau middle way to the higher level. So let's take, for example, when you have to go work out, you have to go to the gym. You're motivated, you're hyped up, you're ready to go. You're like, yeah, I'm feeling really good today. I'm in a good mood today. I'm energized. Like, let's go crush this workout. That's awesome. But what about those days when you come out of bed and maybe you're a little bit tired? You're a little, I can sleep in today. It'll be fine. No big deal. And don't get me wrong. I think it's important to take rest days. And I know there's some people out there that don't take rest days. And it's important to listen to your body and know when that's the case, but it's also important to kind of recognize and become self-aware and know when you're kind of just maybe holding yourself back a little bit, being a little bit too lenient where you're like, I don't need to do that. And then that just will turn into a pattern of, I don't need to do that. And then you just aren't showing up for yourself anymore versus, okay, this is how I'm feeling right now. This is my goal. This is what I'm working towards. And this is what I need to be doing every single day in order to get there. And I think a big part of discipline too is like remembering what that long-term goal is. And this doesn't just have to be with fitness. This could be with anything in your life. If you have a goal in terms of your career, right? What is your long-term goal? That's what's going to keep you disciplined, is focusing on the long-term, broader vision, right? Rather than kind of the immediate future. So that's my take on discipline versus motivation. And guys, it's a part of the human experience. If you're not motivated, it's fine. Like, don't beat yourself up for that. Like I said, we're never going to be like 100% every single second of every single day. Like, there will be days when you're maybe tired, maybe, feeling a little lackadaisical, and that's fine. Like, it happens. And I think it kind of coincides too, in a sense, with like, I did an episode on toxic positivity a while back. I'll leave a link to that. It's like, there's days when you're not going to be like super happy, super bubbly all the time. And that's perfectly normal, right? We are humans. We are meant to experience a full range of emotions in the same way that sometimes life will happen and we won't be super fired up to go, crush lifting weights at the gym every single day. But again, that's when that discipline comes into play. And that's the strongest form of self-love, is kind of ignoring the fleetingness of this thing that you're sacrificing, whatever it is that you usually work towards and are usually motivated to, in favor of recognizing that every single day that you show up for yourself, every single day that you put in the work, even if it's not maybe what you anticipated, even if it's not as much, if you just show up for yourself and you just put something in, you're putting something in each and every single day. That's going to add up over time, and that's what matters. So discipline is so important, guys. Super duper important. And you might be wondering, well, how do I stay disciplined? Like, how do I do that if I'm not motivated? Like, then what do I do? And I think the easiest way to stay disciplined is to just think about your long-term goal, especially on those days when you're not feeling like showing up, when you're not feeling like doing it. Think about, you know what? Let me take a step back. This is what I'm working towards. This is my vision. This is my goal. Think about yourself getting to that point and how good it's going to feel once you're there, and say, you know what, this is something that I need to do for myself, not for anyone else. I need to do this for myself and just show up, and I'm going to make the magic happen. So yeah, staying disciplined is so important. And again, think of discipline as the friend that shows up when motivation has ditched the party. So when the motivation's not there, the discipline's like, I got you. You're going to be fine. Other ways that you could stay disciplined is like stick to a schedule, stick to a routine, especially with like your workouts. If you have a schedule and a routine and you have like that sense of normalcy built where you're like, okay, well, it's a Tuesday morning. I really don't feel like it, but it's my routine now. It's a part of who I am to show up for myself, to go to the gym every Tuesday morning. And that's what's going to get me closer and closer to that goal. I think having that sense of routine too, to kind of keep that sense of discipline, is super helpful. But yeah, all in all, motivation and discipline, they both exist and you can both use them to your advantage. But like I said, you're not going to be motivated 100% of the time. I have certainly not met anybody that's motivated every single day. If you are one of those people, let me know what your secret is. But yeah, I mean, the people that you see at the top, the people that are killing it in life, those are the people that are disciplined. Those are the people that are continuing to put that work in. They're continuing to show up for themselves every single day because they keep on to that vision. They hold on to that vision. And I think that's an important part, is holding on to your vision. Visualize what exactly it is that you want. Hone in on what exactly that is. And every single day, do something that's going to get you closer to that vision, that's going to align you closer to that person that you want to become. And I guarantee you, if you show up for yourself in that way, then you will get closer and closer to that, and you will eventually get there. And I know it might sound like it's easier said than done, but it could be little things, right? It doesn't need to be a 2-hour workout or whatever. It could just be like, all right, I'm going to, walk today. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to just go to the gym and just see what happens. Like, just show up for yourself. And that's such a place of like self-love too, like genuine self-love, like knowing that what you're doing is serving you in such a beneficial way, and that you're honoring what you can do with your body. I say this all the time. It's like we forget how much of a blessing it is that we're even able to work out, to run, to lift, to cycle, to swim, whatever it might be. Like, think about what a blessing that is. And think about what a privilege it is too, to be able to go to the gym, to work out, to run on the street. There's so many people in this world that don't even have access to that and like couldn't even dream of that. And you should be thankful for it every single day. And gratitude, I think, can also come into play when it comes to a lack of motivation, especially for me. On days when I really don't feel like running, when I really don't feel like, going to the gym, I remind myself of how much of a blessing it is that I'm even able to do that. And then I'm like, all right, you know what? No, this is not like, there's this quote that always flies around. It's like, exercise isn't a punishment for something that you ate the day before or whatever. It's a celebration of what you can do with your body. And that is like so true. It's the biggest celebration of what you can do with your body. And think about that every time you go into the gym or whatever it is that you're trying to tackle. Try to frame it from that perspective of like, I am celebrating what I'm capable of. I am celebrating what I can do, how strong I am. Like that is like the best feeling in the world, guys. So yeah, motivation and discipline are huge. They're interconnected. They work with each other, but they also work in place of each other. So if you kind of like understand that relationship, and like, again, this is like my perspective on it. So I certainly hope that you gained some value from that you kind of can see that distinction a little bit more. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you are interested, if you liked this show, please hit that subscribe button on YouTube, youtube.com/Haley Noel. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, drop me a review, drop me a rating. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what you're interested in. Leave me a comment as well. If you are watching this, what would you like to see moving forward? What kinds of topics are you curious about? What do you want to learn about? What are you passionate about? Talk to me. I'd love to hear. Thank you so much for tuning in, my loves. I'm sending you so much health, wealth, success, happiness, abundance, peace, love, and joy. And I will see you next time.